Asia America is brought to you by Asian America Voice, championing diversity, the very best way to connect people.
Welcome to Asian America, the first leading public television program dedicated to Asia and Asian Americans. Hi, I'm Sue Robinson, your host for this edition. I'd like to introduce today two businessmen here to discuss the topic of Asian cultural languages and the power of Asian networking. So, John Hills is founder and director of Hills Learning, located at 380 Lexington Avenue, 17th floor, New York. And Yasushi Sasaki is president of Two Rivers Associates, located 1375 Broadway, 3rd floor, New York as well. So, welcome and thank you both for joining me today in the studio.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
You are two businessmen here in New York City with differing occupations or your way of owning your businesses. John, what does the Hills Learning provide?
Hills Learning is an Asian language school coupled with ESL, and we do both group classes and private lessons for all individuals and businesses in New York. Ages range from very young, it's like 8 months, to older age. And we actually specialize in Asian language.
What is your business all about?
Yes, Two Rivers Associates provide consulting services to small business owners in Asia and the United States. So we try to be a bridge between Asia and the United States. These days we've seen so many people with bilingual capability, maybe trilingual. And I think language aspect is a big part of the culture. And we thought that's a very important part of the business as well.
And I'm amazed at those centers. When you whip out those students, they actually speak better Chinese than I do. When I listen to them, I'm like, wow, where did you go? And they said they go to the language centers and they learn this. You're doing something great. And so what are the Asian languages do you provide at your center?
Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and Thai.
Wow. Which are the languages that are most popular for you at your center now?
I would say Chinese and Japanese are the same enrollment numbers, but probably Chinese has the highest demand.
Oh, why?
Chinese is popular across the board. There are people interested in learning the language from a very young age. So we're doing after-school programs in schools that are serving elementary kids. And then there's also babies that are of parents that are very motivated to get their children to learn the Mandarin language, all the way up to adult level, so 30, 35, 40 age group, and then retirees as well are interested in traveling to China, the business opportunities China presents. So there's a wide range of people, all age groups, learning Chinese. So the demand for Chinese is probably the highest.
Yeah.
Now, I want to discount Korean, because Korean as well, the demand is actually going really quickly, but it's more of a cultural interest. People are interested in going to Korea to teach English or interested in the culture over there, for example, K-pop. And now Japanese, I want to talk about Japanese because I said Japanese is about the same enrollment numbers. Japanese is a strong cultural interest in Japan. And just my own personal experience, I really enjoyed living in Japan for 4 years, but if you think of all the companies that we know, Sony, Nintendo, everything, seems to have infiltrated the American consciousness, the cultural influence, with sushi and everything else. But Japan also does a great job of promoting their culture in America.
Strong cultural interest in Japan,
Right.
because of so many things that are coming out there that is drawing a lot of the American people to want to get over there to network. Why is that? What's over there that it's more strong cultural interest than?
Anime and manga.
Anime.
This jumps
Anime
on mine.
is big.
Our Japanese through manga class has perfect attendance every day. Every day we hold it. So the students, this manga, for people that don't know, it's a comic, but it's a comic for adults, and it's a very complex storyline. And they go on for episodes and seasons with this thing, but the students just love it, and it's not about just studying books and doing homework anymore. It's more of a cultural interest, and they will go home and they will study and they will read the manga and they will listen to the music. Because of that, they're absorbing the language much quicker. than just seeing it as a study. Oh, I'm forced to do this. I have to do this. It's not. They don't have to do it. They want to do it, and that's a lot of what Hills Learning looks for in our students. The students that really want to learn the language and culture.
What ages are the students coming to you for language to know about their certain type of language at your center?
The average is probably between 25 to 35 years old. We have group classes generally at night, so there's a lot of professionals in the area of Grand Central Station, as you mentioned, that come to the center, but there's a lot of other people of different ages too. Young, as I told you, we were teaching someone who's 8 months old. So you start young. Even
That's
before
how they grab it, yes.
Yeah, even before you learn English.
Of course.
I mean, you start with a foreign language, and yeah, they might not be able to speak it, but they'll get used to how to pronounce it. They'll get used to the tones of Mandarin. So when they do learn it later on, they won't have an accent. They'll sound like a natural native. Not to discourage you.
I was born here.
Okay.
What do you see in the future?
I mean, again, as I said before, Asia is the wave of the future in some way. I mean, with the current political administration, people are always focusing on more, I think, towards Asia. And again, as Yasushi was talking earlier, you asked him about networking and kind of the best way to do it. Well, one of the ways is about first impressions. I mean, a lot of things are about first impressions. Interviews about first impressions, sales about first impressions. And to make that perfect first impression, if you say it in Chinese instead of English when you meet someone at an event, I mean, they will remember that. They'll remember that over everyone else that tries to speak English with them, even though they might speak English fluently, but just the fact that you're taking that extra step.
Yeah, I call it respect. You took the time to know my language, and that's really nice. You took the time, you knew it, and you want a job in my company. That's what I like. As a business sense, that's what I grab at, with the students, that they really know what their stuff, and they took the time to do this. And, what else are you both doing within the community together?
Well, another thing that he's helped me with is Japan Day. So Japan Day is a day, it's actually a unique event, I think, in New York City, where about 50,000 people come.
Wow.
And they learn about Japanese culture. But they didn't have any Japanese language instruction. So about 3 years ago, Hills Learning started talking with Japan Day, and they said, it'd be great if you can teach Japanese at Japan Day for us.
Nice.
So we've incorporated the language with that, and that's great. And you reach a wide variety of people, but you ask about the age. I think Japanese is kind of younger. There's a lot of high school students interested in learning Japanese that are coming to those events, and there's older people as well that have lived in Japan or, again, have the cultural interest. So
that's wonderful. Yeah. So, well, I know anime is a big thing, even in the grade schools, and it's always on our community bulletin. So, yeah, and a lot of people want to know more languages to give them that extra edge in life. It's not enough just to learn English. Even the public schools know you need a foreign language. And do you hope that public schools are going to grab on to the Asian cultural languages now?
Yes.
Yeah, because all I'm seeing is Spanish and French and Latin. Where's all the Asian languages in the public schools now?
Right, and when I grew up, I mean, I had two options, Spanish or French. So
yeah, me too, Spanish,
But I believe that there is demands out there. So the more adults realize that there is a demand out there, and I think we'll see more programs targeting the Asian languages and cultures.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I think the schools need that. Growing up Chinese and learning two dialects and then asking me to know a foreign language, another one, Spanish or Latin or French, it becomes overloading, along with everything else they have to know about when they really want to have a good future in the Asian culture for later. And your center provides that, so I'm very happy with that and all your involvement in the community. John, for those who are interested to know more about your center, how can they contact you?
They can go to www.hillslearning.com, and they can go to the website. They can contact us with email or telephone number as well, and they can see that information on the website. So,
thank you both for coming in and providing all this wonderful information for our communities here. And thank you for joining us for another session of Asian America. I'm Sue Robinson. Until next time, be well.
Asia America is brought to you by Asian America Voice, championing diversity the very best way to connect people.